Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to game number one now of our next series coming at you of what is the winner bracket finals here. Reason Gaming versus Xync Esports here in a best of three. So here we are, made it to this point. Both of these teams finishing 1 and 2. Xync finishing first place. Did drop a couple of games in the end, but finishing first place overall. Ultimately, you could say undefeated as far as series go, I guess, because, you know, the worst case, they tied a couple, but they won the rest. As far as the other side of the spectrum, you got Reason Gaming coming into it as the 2 seed, thus facing off in the winner bracket finals right here. So excited for this one. This, no doubt, should be a good one. And, well, there's several reasons for that. Not only are these two obviously very good teams going at it, but, again, there's the history here of Matthias, formerly of Reason Gaming before the season here, now a part of Xync. Replacing Flensmeister, of course. So Reason Gaming getting to match up against their former teammate here. And just, again, should be a good one. So joined by Scurry once again as my co-caster here. Scurry, how's it going? Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks. Definitely going to be a very exciting matchup here. Yeah, definitely with Masera now playing for Reason and Messias for Xync. It's definitely going to be some interesting movement, and we already see them kind of having some fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely a team that has played a lot against each other.
Yeah, they have a lot of history, to say the least. So, you know, ultimately, I know Matthias now part of course, Xync, and, you know, as I'm hyping up there, for good reason, there is that former teammate idea of them. But it sounds like the guys just all are about having fun in the end with one another. So I don't think there's too many hard feelings necessarily. The fact that he's now part of another team here. But again, it should be a great one, though, just because of the teams we got going at it. Now, we are already pretty developed here with the draft, so we got to start breaking down what we do see so far. The initial bans, I'll just scroll the way up: Tremble, Clanks, Ophelia, and Warbeast. If there's one lesson that we just continue to learn against Reason Gaming, it's ban the Clanks. You do not want to let Imboboy get it, and Xync here is very aware of that. They did it, in fact, against them in the group stages, I believe, as well, which they won, by the way, 2-0, pretty decisively from what I recall. So looking for a repeat performance here. We'll see if it happens. But the picks: Moira into Fade, Parasite into Swiftblade, Midas into the Revenant coming out here for Xync. So what is your take? What do you think of these picks here?
Well, all those picks scream a lot of aggression. And yeah, definitely with Fade and Revenant. Fade, one of the heroes that's getting more attention lately. And Revenant, not really, but definitely has a really strong early game. Yeah, it's really gonna be an interesting early game here. A lot of action, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely always look forward to that here. And also looking forward to see what Reason Gaming chooses as the Imboboy hero, because so far they don't have one here. And they continue to keep at that. Lodestone, the 4th pick, coming out. Zane's played a bit of Lodestone here throughout this Cycle 1 and has done pretty well with it. So, you like the Lodestone pick?
Yeah, I think Reason is pretty much the only team that really likes a Lodestone, and yeah, that's just because Zane does a fantastic job on that hero.
Yeah. He is entertaining to watch with it, so, and definitely a great hero at initiating, and seems like at least he manages to do pretty well in the suicide role with it. Has a great getaway tool, and of course, even some kill potential if you're not careful with the burst damage he brings, so. What about their carry, though? I mean, a lot of, oh my gosh, Tundra coming out. We got to talk about that for a second. Wow, that's a hero we have not seen in a long time. But Tundra into a Parasite, by the way, is a little risky, you could say, too. But Tundra.
Yeah, this is getting really interesting now. I feel like Fade and Tundra kind of suit the same purpose, so I don't know what they were thinking there. Maybe there's some special combo I'm not thinking of right now, as we see Corrupted, yeah. But yeah, I feel like those heroes really share the same purpose of just scouting around and making those setup kills.
It seems like they're just going all out with that, right? I mean, that's what we're seeing here. Tundra, Revenant's good for that with the Essence Shroud. You got Fade, of course, with the Ultimate. So they're really just forming a very heavy gank lineup, is what it's safe to say. One that goes around your vision here. At least that's the idea. So, yeah, that's That's interesting seeing that Tundra. They're right clicking a Slither, man. No, that would really just do it. They go with something like a Slither here, but I'm excited. Who's going to play Tundra? I'm actually really curious about. They have been switching around roles a little bit. I wonder though.
I'm guessing it's Mickey, but I'm not entirely sure. It's either Mickey or Kisso.
Okay. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, the Revenant, too. Is that going to be a main support Revenant, do we think? Or I guess we'll have to wait and see the final pick, ultimately. But could you see it maybe not being a main support Revenant?
I could see them trialing then with those picks they have right now, because the Fade and the Revenant are both really strong in the trialing. And then they could either get another trialing hero now as a farmer, or put Swiftblade in there, and then they need another solo hero.
Yeah. All right, that fifth and final pick, though. Well, they're spending a lot of time here. Okay, they finally do pick it up. Will end up being a Solstice.
Okay, so they're not going to go for the trialing.
Nope. Was left getting his hands on Solstice. He's actually played a lot of Solstice this tournament, too. In the group stages. Several times when we casted them, he's played it a bit, I want to say. So, kind of comfortable for him. And you were right, Mickey does get his hands on Tundra here. Insania is playing the Revenant. All right. That's what we got here. Insania's had several different names, by the way. I feel like it was Mango earlier on. Now he's back to God Insania, or God Insa is his name now. Apparently it's to show respect to God KSSA from Thailand. Player for MRR or something. I don't know. Anywho. So they go with Solstice to finish. So lanes. What do we think we're going to see with lanes here?
Suicide Tundra, Swiftblade mid, no, Fate mid, and then I think Swiftblade Revenant top would be the obvious thing here. And then Midas mid for Legion, Suicide Lodestone. And that's my guess. I don't think there's going to be any crazy man-up thing going on.
Suicide Tundra, though, does that work, you think?
I mean, it does work quite well. Just a matter of, I mean, okay, against Moy it probably doesn't work too well, but it's pretty good against a Parasite. I mean, you can spot out the ganks fairly early.
Okay.
And if I'm not 100% mistaken, then the bird can also block the camp.
God, can it still I want to say they changed that. But I'm actually not sure, now that you say that. I know, man, they made it. I thought they had made a change to prevent that from happening anymore, but at the same time, you might be right. Because you can still do it with, like, NG Mines. I know Tormented Soul obviously doesn't block anymore. Let me see if I can get confirmation on that, actually. To Shiver, block, camps still. We'll see if I can actually get that true answer, but... Yeah. So, but yeah, if it actually does block camps though, still, then that's actually a really good point. That using it to prevent Parasite from getting an effective camp spawn, maybe next to the lane, could be powerful. So we'll see if that comes into play here. But currently heading towards the top lane though is Mickey, and well, everyone else is. So there we go. Is Reason going to do the same? It looks like they are. Starting to run up there. You got Imba leading the way on that Corrupted. They do have history running aggressive Corrupted Disciple with Reason Gaming. So it looks like they may be doing that here. Manning up, actually.
Yeah, it does look like Swiftblade is going to go Suicide as well. He does have picked up Suicide items, and he got the Ward in his inventory. So I wonder if that's a short lane fade.
Is it? He's heading up here. Yeah.
It does. It looks like they're actually expecting the man up lane.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, they have a quite good team against the Moira Corrupted with the Revenant, Solstice, and Fade.
That they do. And yeah, again, against Recent Gaming, it's maybe against a lot of teams you may not expect an aggressive man lane with like a Corrupted, but Reason definitely has history doing it. So, and Xync, they have plenty of experience playing them, so they are calling it correct if that is the case. That's sure enough. Corrupted is going to end up top here with more. He got Parasite. What's ideally he wants to be in the jungle, but we'll see if that lasts forever or not. Solstice. I would think Solstice is one of the better junglers at dealing with the Parasite. Am I correct to say that, you think?
He can deal with it if he gets the support from Revenant, but otherwise it's going to be really tough for him, I think.
Okay.
Especially because he's one of those heroes that does kind of want to stack the camps. And
That's
yeah,
true.
when you do that, you obviously get low on HP, and it's kind of risky to play against a Parasite.
Yeah.
But he is blocking the camp, so that's really well done.
Yeah, he actually blocked it himself. I was just about to mention that, too. And taking it, the option at least, away from Parasite. Right there. In the meantime, over here, this camp was also blocked, actually, by Revenant off to the side. So you see the immediate counter ward of that rep ward right there. But a couple of good blocks here to start things off, as he'll take over a Wild Hunter, though. And try to get the last hit. Yep, he'll be successful, actually. So very interesting start here in the jungle going on between the two teams. But in the end, you got Moira and Revenant now duking it out here as far as the battle goes. Tankafed, he's almost seeming a little lost of where he wants to end up now because of the blocks. But we'll eventually go back in the jungle, and they do get the spawn of the Catman champion here. So, yeah, good job countering that before the minute mark. Allows him to get it there.
Yeah, it definitely just looked like Xync expected to try Lino or the man up lane.
Yeah.
So, yeah, going to see how this wraps up. I mean, definitely Corrupted on a man up lane has potential, but I would still give the favor to the Hellborn team.
Okay. As usual, the Parasite, it probably comes down to, getting creep spawns with him. What he's going to be looking for if he gets something like a Skeleton King and get some nice reach here. Maybe he'll look to make a jump happen. But, yeah, Solstice, he does already have his charge, as you see. I'm wondering, he's level 3 right here. What is he going to put that third point into? Okay, it is the Blinding Rush. Yeah, I was wondering about that. If he's going to try to get some more efficiency out of that, knowing that a fight could possibly break out up here. And it looks like he does with the Q ability. So, are they going? They're trying. Catman champion slow on a fade right there. Here comes the Shards of Harkon. He's going to die pretty heavy. Solstice is running over, but he's not even really close just yet, and they do get the Bloodlust kill. You do see Parasite take some good damage, but not much more Revenant is able to do by himself right there. I guess that's really the unfortunate thing for Xync is that their main support isn't really a great, he doesn't have a stun or anything like that, so.
Yeah, he does have that invis, but obviously level 1 where he can't really use it. I think it's really important for Slap to pick up the boots as fast as he can. If he was able to be there 2 seconds earlier, they would have gotten return kill for sure.
Yeah, Solstice a little too far to the right. I mean, you do see they do have a Catman soldier over here in this camp, but that's it currently. So really not the most efficient farm for Solstice if he wanted to do it. Probably why they're keeping it like that. He does have a stacked camp though. He'll look to take advantage of it in the near future. Let's take a look at the other lanes though. As that try versus try continues to go on top lane. Middle lane, you got Tundra versus the Midas. Midas currently 14-2. Tundra actually 22-2. So Mickey having a much better time. Does that surprise you?
No, I think Tundra is one of the best 1v1 heroes, and ultimately, seeing it here as well, he's just spamming his Q and forcing Midas to use all his bottle charges. And he also got the region rune, so that was really good for Mickey. So yeah, I think Midas is gonna catch up soon, but if this keeps on going and he's getting another rune now at the bottom, then yeah, he's gonna have a huge advantage in mid lane.
Yeah. I got to point out about Massera, by the way, playing the Midas. Obviously, there's talks about how was he going to step in and play some Matthias for a reason, and was he going to be able to live up to it, or was he going to be able to be solid? All these questions. I will say, stat-wise, he has definitely done a fantastic job for this team, and I had to really double-check it and triple-check it even, and Quincy, made a point of it too, but Massera actually has the highest kill plus assist to death ratio out of any player in Cycle 1. So he's done a fantastic job in that middle ganking role. Meanwhile, top lane, by the way, Corrupted the side pole. He's going to barely stay alive. Not for long, though. Shards of Harkonnen can only last so long. He goes down more, and now they're diving heavy. He's going to do what he can to try to delay it as long as possible at least, but it's not nearly going to be enough. And down goes Near right there, so the aggressive, or more so the tri-lane, pseudo tri-lane of Xync does pay off in the end as they come through for a couple kills. So well played right there. Take the 2-1 lead now. Now the question is, where do you go with Corrupted here? As you kind of give it up? It looks like they're doing that.
Yeah, good decision, really.
Yeah, I'm going to send him bottom instead. Lowstone's level 6, by the way, so he's 18-4 versus a 23-3 Swiftblade here. Swiftblade winning this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, right now Xync is winning every lane, so they really need to do something. And they might get the kill on, yeah.
Yeah, they got it. The brothers coming together. So catches KZU off guard, and just as you're saying, they're winning every lane. Well, at least that helps a bit. For the Legion side.
Definitely.
And actually middle lane, so if you're losing lanes, go for kills. Oh, Tundra! Okay, see, now, I think he was trying to prevent the Shards of Harkon stun from going off. That's why he went all out on the illusion right there with the avalanche, but it still didn't work, unfortunately, for him. So that was interesting, though, because he definitely went all out on that illusion of Moira. Did that make sense to you, or was that a little silly, you think?
I didn't actually catch that, so...
Oh, okay. Well, basically, Moira came in with the illusion, and then Tundra insisted on cold shouldering it and even using the avalanche on it, his ultimate, to kill it as soon as possible, but it actually still ended up stunning him, so...
Okay, yeah, that's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
And, I mean, yeah, that's one of those decisions very smarter at the end of it. I mean, he could have potentially lived, but is it really worth it? I mean...
Yeah, I mean, he did it very quickly, and it still wasn't in time, so, yeah, you can argue. Probably just not worth doing it in the end. But top lane, Zane goes down, by the way, as Solstice comes back in. He popped the Shatterstorm. It looks like a Solstice ulti was used. So, unfortunately, I didn't catch it on camera, but may have caught Zane off guard there.
Yeah, and they bursted him down with Fade ulti, and then the Solstice Blast on full charge is pretty good. Solstice being really active here and pretty much winning all mid and top lane for Xync, so he's doing pretty great.
Yeah, that's definitely what you like to see for your Xync here. And Slapped is now Knight form here, so more of the single target, of course, and the fear on the ultimate. Oh, they're jumping in aggressively on a Tundra as there's TPs coming in, though, and Fade happens to already be here. Now here comes the response. Macera in trouble, will end up going down. Parasite off to the side is going to be barely fine as he walks away. Well, that was close. Meanwhile, Moira, she is caught off into the jungle, throws out the Shards of Harkon, going to be cut down, though, by the Swift Slashes of Swiftblade. So they had a good idea right there, the invisible Wild Hunter from Parasite. They had the jump chance, but unfortunately, Fade happened to be there, and the TPs came in time for Xync. So really just great reaction on their part.
Yeah, there was some nice TPs and reactions right there. And yeah, that's something Xync is really good at. They're just always making those calls and reacting in time. And yeah, that's got to be really scary for Xync now. For Reason Gaming, I mean.
Uh-oh. Gonna get worse. Matthias jumping up. There's a Lodestone getting hit by the Solstice ulti as well, and Revenant helping to finish it off. In fact, Insania getting credit for the kill. There's just zero reaction time, though. By the time he realizes stuff's happening, he's already dead, basically. So that's just great setup. And again, this is clearly a very aggressive team on the Hellborn side here, and one that is going to be difficult. We knew this, right, for a reason that this is going to be a difficult team to play against early on in the game, especially with all the invis and the gank potential. So is it really that big of a deal that Reason is behind kind of early on?
I feel like they didn't need to be this far behind. I mean, Lodestone had enough, when he left bottom, he had enough gold to buy a bottle, TP top, and buy a ward. And they didn't have a ward on the top woods to prevent or to protect the Trilane or the Lodestone now. I feel like if they would have seen the Solstice come, then he wouldn't have died, because he knew something was up.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's maybe just a bit unfortunate that they didn't place a ward there.
Well, definitely need to keep on top of that vision here because it's already cleared to be an issue. It's already proved to be an issue even, and obviously that's not going to change. Meanwhile, Tundra going middle lane. Avalanche throwing out on a minus. A combo coming in for Fade. Might be too much of a reach though. Shatterstorm response and Fade dead before she knows it. So it will be a 1-for-1 exchange. Here comes Solstice in that knife form, charging in. Doing some good damage to Lowstone initially. Not nearly enough though. And that'll be the end of the exchange here, it looks like, unless Tankafet, no, he's going to be fine. But Midas not done just yet, jumps back in. He bought back for this, by the way. They want something out of this. They're not going to get it, though. So the buyback of Midas, unfortunately, wasted there. And that's risky, but, you know, it can work out, but it also may not. As we saw here. So, unfortunate buyback there from Acera.
Yeah, definitely throwing him behind a bit more. And what's really unfortunate for the Legion team is that Nier is pretty much not getting anything done. He's not able to buy boots, and he's neither getting any sort of dust or revelation wards. And that is definitely hurting the Legion team right now against this dual invis lineup of Xync.
Yeah, I'm looking around at the ward. I mean, they got a couple of very defensive ward of sights up. In fact, 3. Look at the bottom lane. You got one in the rune of the jungle. You got one in the middle lane even. So they're really doing that, but as far as obviously invis, they don't necessarily have a whole lot, and it goes back to what you're just saying there. You know, the lack of gold really, perhaps a reason for that. No dust on them either, though, currently, so definitely a couple of issues so far for the Legion side. We do see bottom lane. Corrupted's going to be fine as they try to jump in. Meanwhile, top lane, Fade, oh, he gets credit for the tower kill, as Lodestone just couldn't get there in time to deny, but now Fade's in trouble. Solstice is nearby. Oh, he dodged the stun from Lodestone. Somehow, Zane missing on the stun, and Fade is going to survive right here. Wow, that was close. Managed to escape, though. That was huge, though, for Xync.
He was next to the observatory, though. He could have just bought dust right there, and Fade would have surely died.
Oh, true. Yeah, that goes back to the lack of dust here on the Legion side, unfortunately, at least for the time being. So, we do have some item pickups coming up, though, in the near future. I'm looking at Tundra and Solstice, and even Fade. I mean, do you think are all 3 just going to get like a portal key here, or are they just going to go all out like an initiation, or what?
I would actually like to see a Lex on Fade instead of an early PK, because I think that item is fantastic. Besides that, I think, yeah, Tundra definitely needs that PK. And Solstice will probably go for it as well, as he picked up the Chalice. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're going to keep up the aggression. And yeah, it's just unreason really to react on that.
Well, part of that reaction, you know, we talked about the lack of vision, and that's going to be a big deal, but also how they're looking with their farm. I mean, Imba Boy is the top farmer of the game, so you can't overlook that. 375 gold per minute. He's going straight into a Shrunken Head. Do you think a Corrupted is with a Shrunken here coming up is actually going to be a big impact for the Legion side?
Definitely is. If he gets the, how's it called, the Corrupted Conduit on either the Tundra, Solstice, or Swiftblade off, preferably Solstice or Swiftblade, then it's definitely going to do a lot of work. And yeah, with BKB, it's just going to be really strong for him.
Yeah.
And that on top of a Lodestone, yeah, that's really going to hurt.
Well, 12 minutes into the game, you see Corrupted pulling the creep wave again, just continuing to do great farm himself, as Imba Boy tends to do here. But middle lane Acera, he slowed down a bit. He's now 0-2-1. And yeah, was also having a pretty tough time as far as the last hitting win. We mentioned that Mickey there on Tundra. You're pointing out, I feel Tundra is one of the stronger 1v1 heroes in the game even, so maybe not necessarily too surprising, but still Midas needing to find something to at least slow things down, start coming back. Look at Insania, a very aggressive ward of sight here in the jungle. You even see Swiftblade stealing a jungle camp, so already Xync is getting to that point of, well, continuing more so to be a nuisance here and stealing resources even. Here comes the Shiver. Gonna start scouting out here. Again, you gotta be a little careful with the Shiver, with the Parasite on the other team. You can kind of just take it over and then abuse it, but also good for that vision, though. Oh.
It is risky, though, to take it over as Parasite, because you don't know when it expires. And if you do actually know that he took over the the Shiver, then you can just spawn a new one, and
That
you're gonna
kills
put
it?
the enemy. Yeah, it's gonna put the enemy Parasite into a really bad position.
Really? Okay. Wasn't aware of that. So if even if he's on the other team and he takes it over, it'll actually still just despawn him out of it. Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. So yeah, that definitely isn't as strong of a kind of a solid pick then, as I was thinking maybe against the Tundra. So interesting. Glad you're teaching me things at least, Squirry. Appreciate that. Oh, bottom lane, they're diving on a corrupt disciple. Going to backfire though. Swift played. Never mind. He TPs out as all 5 are here. So Xync doing a good job of reacting just in time at least to get on out and not causing them any deaths in the process of trying to dive for that kill. So, well, I mean that's a win for nobody died, but that's a win for Xync right there. Everyone porting pot him. Getting nothing out of it in the end.
Those really good reactions by Kizu especially, just making sure to just TP out right away once they figured they couldn't get the kill in time. And yeah, forced a lot of rotation, and that's really hurting the Legion team once again, as they're behind already 3.5k gold and 2.4k experience. So yeah, they're just creating a bigger gap here.
15 minutes into the game, Shadow toward bottom lane. This is a chance here for the Legion side to make a kill. Nope. Swiftblade, I don't know if he heard something or he just really reacted at the perfect timing right there. He was on that cue, ready to spin. So, gank attempt fails right there for the Legion side. You see Tankafet's going to try to kill this tower. In that, Voltulor gets taken out pretty quickly, but now the stun of Solstice is down. And they still will be able to secure the tower kills. The supporting cast comes in. So, well played there for Reason Gaming. And that's some nice gold boost for them that they definitely need. Middle lane, though, in the meantime, Avalanche used by Tundra just to get the tower kill, and then he portal keys away. I think that's worth it. Not the longest cooldown.
Yeah, that was definitely worth it.
Look at the portal keys, too, as they were talking about that. Fade doesn't go in at least yet, but Solstice and Tundra both do have one. There was one interesting one you brought up. Lex Talionis on Tundra, you said. So, yeah, you think it's actually a great item on him, especially?
I actually wanted to see it on Fade.
Oh, okay.
So with Fade, it's quite easy to get it off. You just ulti, use it, and then stun. And yeah, I think it's a really good item on Fade, especially. Just deals so much magic damage and just able to burst on pretty much anyone in the enemy team early on. Mm-hmm. But by the looks of it, as he's saving up the gold, he's definitely going to go for a peek as well.
Looks like it. Yeah, kind of wants to fit that the team theme here. Again, already having the 2 portal keys, I guess. So, Swift play, by the way, finishing an Abyssal Skull. So, speaking of team play, has that now picked up, and Solstice stealing some Ancients in the meantime. Even the Couriel helping out right there from Tundra. So, some nice little assistance and more resources going in their favor. I mean, despite Xync, seems like they're controlling the map pretty well. I mean, it's not an overwhelming lead here. It's a good one, 17 minutes in, but 4,200 gold, 3,700 experience. And it keeps looking back at Corrupted up there as far as one of the top farmers at least. At this point, and, you know, is he going to be able to get that shrunken head here, and what plays can they make with it? They got a puzzle box now on Parasite. Lodestone? Okay, no, I thought he might have had the portal key, but never mind. He's kind of just struggling with this farm, so don't expect that here.
Yeah, I think the lead is not too big, but it's the item progression. I mean, we have picked up 3 PKs on the Hellborn team now, and then Abyssal on Swiftblade. So they're really just showing that they want to end this game, and they know like they can treasure a lot. And I don't honestly know what they're waiting for right now. Maybe they feel comfortable going up against the Corrupted later on as well. But I mean, they know that he's going for a shrunken head, right? So they should probably pressure it a bit more than they are doing right now.
Yeah, it does seem like they were in usual Xync style that they kind of turn it on and they just don't stop. They just go. But yeah, this game they kind of have slowed it down a little bit, haven't they? Where it's not been like missed attempts really. It's just been they haven't necessarily been roaming as heavy since they were in the very beginning of the game, right after the laning phase. But as I say that, you got a double damage Fade heading middle, and they're gonna jump on a Parasite right here and set up a easy kill in the end. Tankafet locked down the whole time, could not get the infest off. I think he was even in animation of doing it right there, so really unfortunate. But there's that jump. So I guess you could say, turn it back on here. And it continues. The portal key was picked up on Fade.
Yeah. And now, really nice for Xync is that the Legion team is aware that he used his ulti on Fade, but he picked up an Invis rune, so he's gonna be able to spot a potential kill on mid now either way. So
maybe he doesn't have enough damage. Okay, I was gonna say no one was nearby, so
yeah. No, Tundra back down after that kill.
Just says hello and then falls back. Solstice, he is going to follow up his portal key with Insanitarius, it looks like. And, you know, maybe it's just because that's just how the game's played out, so it's kind of unfortunate. But Revenant, by the way, top lane. Yep, he's caught. Got caught by Parasite. Revenant pushing up that far as a support. A little risky for sure. And so Insania definitely known for taking some risks as a support, trying to get some farm. And yeah, he actually brought up an interesting point when I had him on to co-cast recently that, you know, it's almost like as a team, they make a point, like, get farm. Like, even as the main support, like, you just go get farm somewhere. Like some teams, a lot of teams may, as a support player especially, just babysit the carry, make sure he doesn't die, stack, whatever. Xync's mentality is not that. It's get farm at all costs, do what you can to get that. And that shows a lot, I think. So I found that interesting of him to say that. Especially with the support.
Yeah, it's pretty much the opposite playstyle that Revolution has. So, where we would use pretty much everything on the carry and mid player, and the supporters wouldn't have anything, they really do a great job with splitting the farm, and they're known for that for a long time. And Insania, but keeps getting... Wow.
That's Fade. Uh-oh. Yeah. He might get countered, though, Midas. Lance's transmute. It's not easy with him moving around like that, but he does in the end. And he secures the counter kill. So, what was a good gank initially by Fade ends up backfiring. So, now they have the numbers here pushing middle. If they want to.
Yeah, they have the Shrunken Head finished and the puzzle box level 3 getting delivered on Parasite, so...
Wow, they don't. I don't know, that felt like a chance there to make a play, but yeah, they choose to just instead go back to farming. Do you see what they're thinking, or would you rather like them to see the push there?
I mean, they are against the Solstice up in the end, and that is really risky to push in. So I do kind of like their decision, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, they have a corrupted farming, they got the pick off, and yeah, they don't really need to force anything right now, I feel like.
Imba Boy on top of that Shrunken Head. Unfortunately, unless the Arcane Vortex. Saw it being attempted near it, trying to get in range in time. Ended up using it just too late. And Tundra ported out. So it was a good reaction on Grepton's part, but also a great reaction on Cage's part to say, all right, this failed. I'm going to TP out right away. And that was successful. So ends up surviving on both sides. Moira? Uh-oh. Moira's dead. Yeah. He wants it, man. In fact, wait. Okay, no, he didn't get it. I was like, wait, where's the assist? But Matthias did it. That would have been crazy. But Mickey wanted part of the action. Make sure to get some of it. And speaking of action, it goes to the middle lane now, and Parasite is going to be killed off. Trying to infest at the last second again, but tank effect. Oh, never mind. It wasn't even up, so. Didn't even have the chance.
Yeah, that lockdown on the Avalanche doesn't give Parasite a chance.
See,
really nice to see.
This is where I do look at Reason, though, and kind of we were talking about that middle push, and you were saying you maybe kind of understand it, but Xync has been very aggressive. We knew it with the lineup. They got items now to really push that with the portal keys. They got the Fade, the Invis constantly they're having to deal with. That's where I think it's kind of a little bit more reason to, like, you almost have to kind of just group up and push now, because this whole spreading out still and trying to farm for Imba Boy more now, it seems like it's just constantly going to get worse and worse. I don't know. I don't know if I see a good sign for Reason Gaming if they don't just group up and try to make a push here. What do you feel?
I feel like they don't have the words right now to really commit to any push or any, sort of team fight, because what do they have? They have a ward at mid. And besides that, they don't have a single ward up. And that's probably part of once Insania got counter warding. Yeah. And Tundra also picked up a puzzle box, which he's using to counter ward. So I think it's really tough for Reason to find a good fight where they have the vision they need in order to win a fight. And especially here, like Lodestone needs the vision. And yeah, compared to Xync, who has Fade and Tundra, it's really beneficial for them to take those fights.
Yeah. You look at Fade, by the way, he is going to scout around, and guess who he finds? Oh, well, no, he wants the courier. Oh, never mind. He goes away. That was interesting. He could have actually killed Moira right there, I feel like, but the courier flew over at the last second. And it's almost like he kind of got distracted by that. So, in the end, not really a big harm there. Bottom tower is pushed in, though, by Swiftblade. Meanwhile, top lane port's coming in. Invulnerability, here we go. Solstice ulti. It hits a couple. Lodestone pops a Shatterstorm. Looking to maybe turn something. Conduit is up. Parasite, he's being locked down, though. Solstice running the whole time. Solstice going to barely live, though, it looks like, just out of range. Corrupt Disciple helps get the kill on to Fade, though. He's the only death so far. It's a 2-for-1 for Xync. Arcane Vortex, down goes Swiftblade, though. Corrupt Disciple will fall in the end. Tundra holding his ground as Revenant helping to come back in. They get the kill to Midas, but Tundra helps to get the kill, but they did lose another. It ends up being a sole survivor. Does Mickey, but he ends up with a quad kill. It's not over just yet. That's some ballers going at it. In the end, that'll be the end of that. That was a little funny there with the puzzle box minions, but well, a 5-for-4. Mickey the only one to live in the end. Okay.
Yeah, despite Zane making a huge play with his ultimate, catching 3 heroes in it. Yeah, Xync just comes out ahead. And it's pretty much what I meant as well. Like, the Solstice ulti is such a good initiation tool if the enemy team is pushing a tower. It's so strong, and it set up those TPs. So, yeah, it's really tough for a reason. They're in a really tough spot right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely getting worse, too. 8,000 gold, 11,000 experience here in the favor of Xync, of course. And now, it is a little funky seeing a Tundra on top of the GPM charts, and I'm kind of trying to get a feel for, like, how impactful really is that, seeing a Tundra on top of the charts? Is that going to be a big deal for Reason Gaming?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, he already has a level 3 puzzle box, and puzzle box and Tundra just does so much with his Avalanche. I mean, it locks down for 4 seconds. And all the stun lock they have on Hellborn side, it's just stacking up. And Tundra definitely a hero you shouldn't underestimate in the later mid to late game stages.
Middle lane, nice jump right there on the Revenant, but it's gonna come at a cost. Parasite being turned. He is killed off as the Arcane Vortex comes out. And so not really necessary in the end. The puzzle box minion still sticking around. Unfortunately going to be killed off too, though. So Corrupt Disciple, Lodestone, they are here. But clearly not going to be involved in a fight, or don't want to, at least just yet. Xync, though, having fun with the puzzle box minions, actually going to counter ward in the process. Still doing a work with them. So yeah, that definitely is a pretty big deal. Another 3,000 gold saved up on top of that, so make a 485 gold per minute on this Tundra. We're definitely going to get an idea of what a farm Tundras looks like in a competitive match. So that's definitely fun to see right here. But then you also have the Solstice and the Swiftblade, the 2 carry potential heroes that are also getting pretty good farm. I mean, 400 gold per minute Solstice and a 335 Swiftblade. So continues to be the not good signs for Reason Gaming here, unfortunately.
Yeah, actually interesting to see is that Solstice did skip the Centaurus and went for a straight peak as well.
Or Shrunken, actually. He had the Portkey first, yeah.
Yeah, Shrunken, I'm sorry.
So it goes to Shrunken, that's true, though. Didn't notice that until you pointed it out. Huh.
Seems very interesting, and that also screams that they really want to take those fights. And I mean, if you look at Messias, okay, he spotted the Midas Invis at least.
Yeah, I saw him pick up the invis right there, so gonna just run away instead of farm elsewhere, force Reasoning maybe react to that. Oh, they're doing Conqueror, they're looking for it. As Reason may try to push the top lane here. So We'll see if they commit to it or not. It's probably going to depend on if Reason commits to the top secondary tower. They are okay. No, they're TPing back though. They want to fight this actually. All right. Oh, very big fight definitely coming up here as there's the invis from Revenant jumping on the Corrupted Cycle off the bat. Look at the burst. Now the Arcane Vortex will stall a Shatterstorm in the Arcane Vortex. That's going to be big as it comes out. The stun. There's the boom. Goes a Dynamite. Tundra falls and Corrupted holds his ground. But now the Swift Slash is bouncing around. Take out more. Corrupted is still alive though. He's doing some good right clicks. Not enough in the end though to stay alive. He does go down. The spinning Swiftblade. But Swiftblade will fall as Midas stays alive through it all. Parasite also doing a lot of work in the fight here with that puzzle box, meaning the Mauler, the explosion. Oh, the leech is going to be enough to secure a kill. Meanwhile, in the background, Fade still trying to make it work happen. No, he gets bursted. And Reason Gaming wins the fight in the end with a 5-for-3 exchange, and they're going to get the tower kill. Reason is, well, they're in this game all of a sudden.
Yeah, that was really, really well played by the Parasite. And just Xync getting those ultis off, like, he's doing a fantastic job in positioning himself.
That was huge. You know, the synergy of the Shatterstorm with the Arcane Vortex I find fun as well. It seems like it really delays the explosion of it. But it also, you know, it helps make sure that they're going to be at least somewhat clumped up when the Shatterstorm goes off at the same time. So it's actually pretty good synergy, and not something we do see a whole lot. I feel like Reason's maybe the only team because they run Lodestone compared to other teams. So pretty impactful there, as we saw.
Yeah. Yeah, now that you mention it, it's definitely some really nice synergy.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they get the base tower out of that. Now the lead is only 2k gold, so that's really nice comeback by Legion team.
Absolutely. This game is definitely completely changed around right now. Definitely was feeling, but that also goes back to what I was bringing up about Xync and their lineup and how they were, again, they were expected to be a very early game team, aggressive, and they have been that, and they definitely have some good scaling at the same time, you know, with the Swiftblade, of course, and Solstice especially, but they were really, you know, the Portal Key is making a point that this is going to be an early game for them when they were successful, but that's where it's not to get too out of hand, because Reason Corrupted was always getting farm, and that continued, and now all of a sudden he's 434 gold per minute. He's definitely becoming a big threat as this game picks up. By the way, he goes on Nullfire Blade. All right, so what do we? Is that for the puzzle box minions? And
that would be the only explanation, I think. I don't see anything else to be countered.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think of like maybe something that he could purge off himself, but there's nothing like a Hellflower or Sheepstick yet. As actually they will catch Revenant off to the side, by the way. TP is coming in, but probably just want to let it go. Yeah.
This looks like a Conga.
Maybe?
They'd rather take mid tower.
I guess instead I'm grouping up mid now. So, but yeah, grouping up, feeling a little more comfortable now as far as team fight goes for sure. Is this Legion side. So I wonder if it maybe even like taking off Mortification from Revenant, but I don't think that's really big enough to be like, oh, I want to remove this. So, not too sure exactly. I guess maybe it is just the puzzle box. It's the bigger thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Fade? No, just got to get out. But I was going to say, too, Solstice actually gets the Alchemist Bones. So, again, he's still sitting on that Steam staff, valuing the Alchemist Bones here. Do you like that?
I mean, yeah, I had to address the Parasite after the last fight, after what he's done there. So I definitely think they needed someone with Alchemist Bones, and Solstice is probably the best here to get it on. So yeah, definitely like to pick up in general.
Yeah.
Not sure, it might be a bit late, but I mean, as the game looks right now, it's gonna be delayed for another at least 15-20 minutes maybe.
You see Swiftblade, he actually bought he got a Geometer's Bane, and then he bought a Ice Brand on top of that. So he went from a Firebrand to those two items together now, as he had over 5,000 gold saved up. So Keizu is most certainly becoming a bigger threat as this game advances on, of course. And going back to that carry potential that he brings. that Xync is definitely going to have to start relying a little bit more on, as now this game is 33.5 minutes in. Told me that we'd be at this point 10 minutes ago. May not believe you, to be honest, but that was top 5 for Reason Gaming. Made it work.
Definitely a huge turn there. And actually, I find this Swiftblade build interesting. I mean, many more people try to figure this build out. I mean, so many people get it now. And, I mean, let's say 1 season back, I don't think anyone would have ever gotten the Geometrous Frostwolf.
No. On Swiftblade, definitely not. Swiftblade has been a very interesting hero because for how powerful and how long we've seen him, and he definitely feels like we always see kind of somewhat different builds on him from time to time. So, yeah, and that's, you mentioned Casey with the Geometers being. Do you think Geometers is actually good here? Is there a reason like you get why he went here?
I mean, it does remove the conduit, but yeah, other than that, I don't really feel it being too good. But I think it's just a general build, because if I recall correctly, last game with Complexity against BMG, Swiftblade went kind of a similar build. And I wasn't aware of this, that this is the normal, or the new Suicide Swiftblade build. So it's kind of interesting to see for me as well.
Yeah, we did have the phase there for a while of the Brutalizer, the Portal Key, even as we were talking about even the last game, but yeah, maybe it is kind of a transition taking place to an extent as Fade. Okay, again, he's scouting out. Something I want to bring up too is that the Legion team, the lack of a Bound Eye on them. I know they have a puzzle box, and of course they are carrying dust and everything, but do you think a Bound Eye really would be a great investment here? Is it maybe not worth it?
I think at this point it's not worth it. I mean, they just came back into the game with the Parasite puzzle box being up all the time. Now they also picked up Dust on Moira and Lodestone. So I think they're in a pretty good spot. But if they would lose the Eye now, then it would just give Hellborn team way more map control than they already have.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's gonna probably make a huge impact if they would decide to do that.
Ooh, top lane, Moira, the Arcane Vortex is very off right there. Swiftblade is going to be able to get out. That was a huge miss from Moira, gotta say. And he gets the top tower kill with the illusions. Wow. That was big for Swiftblade especially. But yeah, Moira, I mean, she poured basically right on top of him. I'm surprised, honestly, it whiffed that bad. But I gotta think, obviously, the vision was definitely pretty bad for her in the trees, so... That's where I do give Nier a little bit of slack there for sure, but missing.
At least he finds the ward.
At least he found a ward, sure. There you go. There's something he got out of it. Lodestone? No, he's good. Barbed armor, a good item on Lodestone to get, but you see Zane here is really not gotten farm for a whole lot. Is only 200 gold per minute. Does the portal key, a little bit of build up, but not much else here.
Yeah, that's sort of the problem with Lodestone. You do a lot of damage and you do a lot of stuff in fights, but once you have your ulti off, you're gonna die. And then from there you don't get experience, you don't get the gold. So yeah, that's the problem with him right now.
Swiftblade just solo pushing this middle tower, forcing Reason to make a decision here. And it looks like they're just interested in pushing towards top lane. Of course, the tower's already dead. They want to go right for the racks. They're going to force Xync to make a reaction. Solstice ulted to start. Going off right there with a Lunar Judgment. No really follow-up, though. Lodestone coming in with a Shatterstorm. Connects on a Solstice. And he's dead off the bat. Now he has a buyback, uses it immediately. Swift Slash is coming out. Here comes the counterplay. In comes the Arcane Vortex, though, to stop it as it does. Lodestone already dead. Fade, a big stun in the background. Hits a couple as Corrupted as Sightbolt gets picked off. Great teamwork here from Xync. And it's just going to continue as they push out of the base. Midas, portal keys away. I think he is going to be the one survivor here of Reason. But what a fight there for Xync as they, they lost Solstice off the bat, but definitely Reason may be committing a little too much to get that kill.
Yeah, I mean, they pushed uphill without creeps, and doing that against a Swiftblade Solstice, that is really risky. And it did come into cost there. So definitely a little bit greedy by Reason Gaming there.
Certainly was, and now you have bigger and better items being picked up, including a Frostless Skull and Swiftblade. Solstice, remember he bought back too, but he has another 2,600 gold saved up, 5,000 plus on Tundra. God knows what Mickey is going to go for here with his next item. But for now, they're going to push into the base. Are going to fall back though, not wanting to commit too much. Now, good patience by Reason, actually. Imbo Boy didn't use a buyback. He had one, but chose to save it, and only losing the tower, I think that's worth it.
Yeah, that's fine by them. I think it's really interesting. I mean, Mick is sitting on near the 6k goals now, and it's 40 minutes, and you still see the Tundra being on top of the GPM chart with 500 GPM.
Wow, yeah.
So Mick is having a fantastic game here.
He's going to go full demonic, it looks like. He just got a Soul's Bulwark, so. Yeah, that demonic breastplate, it's going to be coming up here next in line most likely, and they'll have that to work with now too. Bottom lane, there's the Solstice ulti to open. Beautiful setup. And he even popped the Shrunken at the last second. I mean, you get why he's trying to live there, but yeah, you could argue he was dead. I mean, so that's a second off the charge now.
Yeah, that's a beautiful combo though by Slept and Messias. And that's what they did to Lodestone twice in top lane. And now they've managed to find the Corrupted out of position. Well, he wasn't really out of position, it's just a fade.
Yep. That's a fade impact, and you got to say maybe the Shiver as well from Tundra. Not something we can keep an eye on the whole game by any means, but I'm sure it's constantly been getting them good vision here. As Parasite just face-hugging Swiftblade right there very early. Doesn't really get much out of it. Here comes the follow from Midas, though, finally. Lodestone. He's going to take a stun from Fade in the background. It looks like Moira gets jumped by Tundra right there. Quickly killed off. The Shadow Storm, it will go off. Tundra, he's feeling it. He's going to end up dropping, actually. So Tundra getting picked off. It's a 1-for-1 so far in favor of the Legion team. And here come the Swift Slashes now. Bouncing around. Midas low on mana, but still has enough team support. But wow, Fade manages to barely escape right there. Getting on out. But you look at the buyback situation that was cost by Reason. Yes, they did use a couple. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's really nice to see that they still stand their ground, but yeah, that was just a forced buyback for pretty much no reason from Corrupted. They didn't necessarily need to defend that one Rex, as it doesn't really matter too much at this point, especially since it's a mid-Rex. But they might really capitalize on this and get the Conger.
Solstice, Lunar Judgment, here we go! Fade jumps in with a stun, big combo! Down goes Corrupted, a side pull off the bat. Fade's going to be turned on that late Storm Spirit thrown in the air. Maybe not, he's holding his ground, touted forward, trying to stay alive. Lowzone they're chasing. Solstice will running out of there, so he delays it at least. They get the kill on Corrupted, but look at top lane in the meantime. Swiftblade pushing it in. Corrupted's probably going to have to buy back here, yeah. He will, and now they're confused. They don't know what to do. They're going to commit to Kongor. But he's still not dead just yet. They lost Corrupted's damage. Here comes some more support from Xync. Oh boy, this is an awkward spot to be in. Swiftblade's going to TP out. He'll be fine in the end. Kongor just about dead, but here comes Solstice and Revenant. They're going to fight this out. They get the... Oh, Parasite got the token at the last second. Arcane Vortex. Yes, Parasite may fall right here. He's going to come right back up, though. Does burst on the Solstice before he goes down, but here he comes back up. Meanwhile, Lowstone's picked off, though. Parasite, he infests the creep at the last second, comes right on out, though. Tundra still alive. Not for long, though, with the puzzle box minions doing work. A double tap for Tankafet, and here comes Corrupted Disciple now, who had just used his final buyback, and is going to at least force them out here. So that was a crazy situation, though. I think, however, Xync could still be pretty happy with the end result of it.
Yeah, that was so well played by Slept, especially initiating that fight and making sure that the Conger drops in sort of their favor. And yeah, KZ just doing a fantastic job as well, pushing out the top lane and forcing another buyback of Corrupted. That is just really good for them now and very beneficial. Token being used as well, so that Parasite doesn't have it anymore. Yeah, they're just in a really good spot right now, and if they manage to push out mid lane now, they could easily rotate to top and take another X. I don't think there's anything Legion could do about it.
Well, they would have to at least try to hold, which they definitely are ready for. In fact, they're not going to wait for that. They're going to try some kind of sneaky field rock gang coming out right here. And not going to be so sneaky. Right into the illusion. So good attempt from Reason, but what is Fade doing?
Yeah.
Swiftblade, he's getting caught in the meantime. Oh, they're chasing still with a spin. He is going to be sheeped right after, though, and he is going to be killed. Revenant, I don't know if he's getting away either. No, he's not. The No Fireblade just to make sure right there. Takes him out.
If they are aware of the goal situation of Swiftblade, they might get the top ranks.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, he doesn't have a buyback. I wouldn't be surprised if they are. I mean, he has a dancing blade on him, so they may have picked up on that. And this just got really interesting, because now they're definitely getting the melee racks. Tundra in the meantime at the top lane. Lockdown Mora gets a quick kill. Tundra doesn't have a port for another 20 seconds, but he is going to get the melee racks top. But Reason's going for the game. They're saying, we're going to go for a base race. Here we go. Solstice, Lunar Judgment. He's going to activate it. It will fear them for a little bit right here. He jumps in. He catches low on Storm Spirit, though. Going to be fine for the time being. Striking it onto Solstice, but now he's in trouble. Corrupted Disciple going to scare him off. Reason Gaming going all in right here. Port up for Mickey in 4 more seconds. They're going for the other tower. And now they're going for the Shrine. This is it for Reason Gaming. Can they get the damage out? Solstice, Sheepstick on him. Corrupted's barely dead. He will stay alive just a little bit longer. Gets going to fake, gets going to Solstice. Oh my god, they're holding Resto Stone purchased by Tundra in the meantime. He gets the kill on a Corrupted. He takes out Parasite as well as they buy back, and they do hold. What an attempt from Reason Gaming. But in the end, it is a hold from Xync. But, I mean, it's not 100% over just yet.
Mickey just sold his boots to get the rest of Stone.
Yeah.
Wow, that was very interesting fight. And they nearly got it. I mean, now Slept is out of buybacks as well. And that was such a risky play by Kisu.
Yeah.
Nearly risking the entire game there.
Absolutely. I mean, not having that buyback in Recent Gaming definitely knew. The way they committed like they did, you could tell they were pretty certain that Swiftblade did not have a buyback, and they were right. So, however, now you have Xync pushing in, just going to keep the lanes pushed in. Meanwhile, middle lane, Kisu again getting caught right here. Again, he doesn't have a buyback. If he falls right here, he does. He goes down. Solstice gets there, but got there late. He's in trouble now. Shadowstorm coming in. Uh-oh, Solstice, the Shrunken Head will mitigate it at least, but now he's in trouble coming out of it, and he will fall. Solstice doesn't have a buyback. Oh my gosh. Is Reason Gaming going to be able to make a play right here? They are. I mean, they're pushing out. Somebody needs to defend, though.
60 seconds. Can they do this?
Oh, Corrupted didn't have I thought he had post-haste for a second, but no, he just TP'd to his tower. So never mind about trying to backdoor. Meanwhile, fight breaking out over here. Midas getting caught. Midas going to be taking a lot of damage. Eventually is killed in the end. However, here comes Lodestone as well as Parasite, now Corrupted Disciple joining the party. Revenant doing as much damage as he can. Nice slow on to Tundra right there with an old Fireblade. Tundra dropping, he goes down. He does have a buyback if it comes to it, but Fade's picked off, who does not have a buyback. Oh, this game's just going to continue to get crazier and crazier. Down goes Insania, but the mortification, trying to get a turn kill. It's a hat trick, though. It's a genocide for Reason Gaming, and once again, they're going cutthroat here. Are they going to just push, or are they going to go for the Shrine?
I think they're going to go for it. Yeah, they're going for it.
Nah, they can't really, though, with Tundra up now, I guess. It's tough. Resurrection on Swiftblade here. Oh, boy, this is interesting again. They're going to try for it. Tundra, is he just going to backdoor? Or he's playing it safe? Okay. Never mind.
Yeah, Reason not going to commit to that. Good decision there.
They say there's still definitely plenty of game left, so they're not going to go too crazy here. As video see Xync is going to throw out the pause, but I'm still honestly a little bit in shock that this game is so close right now. It's insane that Reason Gaming actually has a very realistic shot of winning this game right now. After double buybacks on Corrupted, and it just seemed like Xync had gotten so many things going for them, but that's what buybacks. If you don't have a buyback, it tells you how significant it definitely is. You got to keep that in mind here. Okay, they're going to be ready. So what is the buybacks? So Solstice is now out of buybacks. Keizu does have both, but obviously needs a lot more gold before he gets both. Or one for that matter. Obviously, Macera, Tankafet, and Imba Boy in the meantime on the Legion side are all out of buyback. So if any of them die, that's going to be very crucial here for Xync. Oh, wow. How many kills does he have? 14, 6, and 17 on Parasite. Jeez. Yeah, that's a nice stat line there for Tankafet. Doesn't really
really
matter,
need to,
though. Go ahead.
They really need to watch out for the Shiver not to scout them, no? Because there are only 4 people currently in their bots. They're 5 up for Xync right now.
Yeah, Corrupted just killed her real quickly, but knows that, well, that gave them vision, so immediately running out of there. Yeah, Corrupted's been on the same islands for a while because he double bought back here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, it stuns the illusions, but not him. The real one survives, and now they're going for their turn. They're going to find Swiftblade! Never mind, that's an illusion.
Yeah.
Never mind.
He did pop the Geos as well in time there.
That's another thing. Wow, 9 kills before this. Making it 15, 5, and 7. Middle lane. Another jump, though. Corrupted Disciple. Arcane Vortex stalling it. Can he get out of this some way, somehow? Holding his ground. Lowstone with a Shadow Storm in the background. Fade off to the side, dropping pretty quickly himself. As Corrupted Disciple still alive. Not for long, though. He does go down. Again, not any buybacks remaining. Midas and Lowstone are still holding their ground, though. They take out Fade and Revenant. Sheepstick on a Swiftblade. Don't know if they're going to have enough damage follow-up, however, unless Parasite coming in. Maybe, actually. Swiftblade. Yes! No, he's going to survive. The lifesteal, he gets a hat trick. Midas goes down, and that should officially do it here for game number 1. Xync is now going to push out with no buybacks other than Moira, who, well, that's not really a big threat here.
Yeah, the Moira ulti unfortunately set up for perfect Solstice ulti, and yeah, that was really unfortunate for them. But it definitely looks to be over at this point. But a very close game.
Yeah. Ended up being a very close game indeed. Reason game and hell of an effort, hell of a fight put up by them. But Xync will come through here in game number 1 unless it's not over yet. Racing game is not conceding. And I think that's for good reason. I mean, it's definitely a game where just let them finish the old-fashioned way, as I call it, at this point, because you never know. You never know. But Corrupted is going to be up in a couple seconds, so it's not actually 100% going to be over just yet, because they're not going to be able to push in the towers at Tier 4 just yet. Granted, they do have Mega Creeps now. Does Xync, actually, so... Have you ever had Mega Creep comebacks before, Scurry?
I don't remember, honestly. I know they had lost Mega Creep games, but I don't think that I actually won one.
Yeah. No, that's not something that would usually happen, so... That's, let alone a competitive match. Even in TMM, though, it's definitely not a... It's pretty much when you get Mega Creeps, you're supposed to win the game, of course, so...
Yeah. They are going for all in play now, though.
They have to.
Corrupted, trying to get the post-haste.
Oh, yeah, he needs a little bit more gold, doesn't he? He's keeping the Steam Boot. I mean, he could just sell the Steam Boots and get it, but he is going to keep the Steam Boots, or wants to at least. So he's going back to the well right here, so yeah, he's still a little bit short, I believe. I think I saw him purchase a Strider, so...
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's doing it.
Okay. He's going to split up and sell. Okay, there we go. Alright, so has post-haste now.
It is only Parasite and him, though. So I don't think they're gonna... It's only gonna be those two that are eventually gonna make the play. I don't think that's gonna be enough.
Look at... They found Parasite. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's unfortunate, because Parasite was going to be the only one that could help them make a play with the Puzzle Box minions, but he goes down, so now the idea of a Corrupted post-hasting is just not going to work. You also look at the Scouting Couriers from the Hellborn side. They're using those to just make sure to see anything going on. Well played indeed, and it is going to be official, though, as there we go. GG, well played. Game 1 will go to Xync here over Xync Gaming. But boy, was that interesting. That definitely proved to be a lot closer than expected in terms of just where the game was going, and that mid-game especially. But Xync does come out on top. So final thoughts on that game number 1, though, Squirry?
That was really entertaining. Just probably one of the most entertaining games I've watched so far. And definitely both teams showing off that they really want to win this. And yeah, definitely going to be an interesting game number 2 here.
Absolutely. As expected here between two of the, well, definitely arguably two of the best teams in the Han scene right now. Again, they are 1 and 2 for Reason from the group stages. As Xync and Reason Gaming going at it here. And with now Xync up 1 game to nothing here in this best of